The last of the original Avengers finally gets his own solo project, and just in time for the holidays. This is my review of episodes 1 and 2 of Hawkeye. Set in a post-blip New York City, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, has a seemingly simple mission: to get back to his family in time for Christmas. But when his past catches up to him, he reluctantly joins forces with Kate Bishop, who is unknowingly his biggest fan, and together they unravel a criminal conspiracy. Now, before I properly start with my review, I want to know your thoughts on this show. Are you excited for it? How do you rank the MCU Disney Plus shows thus far? Anything and everything down there, just start the conversation, because so is the most important part. If you like movies and TV, this is the place to be, so make sure you click that subscribe button and you won't miss any future conversations about your favorite movies and TV. First and foremost, this will be a spoiler-free review for the first 2 episodes, just to give you guys an idea of how I'm feeling so far about the show, and I want to thank the team at Disney UK for sharing the episodes with me so I'd be able to give you this review. Hawkeye is absolutely a Christmas show, and that is one of my favorite aspects about it. As you could gather from the synopsis, the whole plot of this show is Hawkeye has to solve the situation so he can get home in time to spend Christmas with his family. There's nothing more Christmas than that. I just love the holiday vibe and feel that this show has thus far, which not only does ground the story in realism, as we all want to be home in time for Christmas, but it grounds the character of Hawkeye in reality and makes him extremely relatable. This show is exploring Clint as an everyman, a man who happens to be an Avenger, but he's first and foremost a family man that has a ton of psychological and physical battle scars that at this point really weigh on him, and this is a side of the character that we have never fully explored before, and it makes him extremely compelling in this context. And Hailee Steinfeld is killing it so far as Kate Bishop. This is a character that they had to work really hard to make relatable, as she is a rich kid from a rich family from New York, but they position her within the context of the MCU in a very relatable place, making her a fan of Hawkeye. The opening scene of the first episode is not only really great when it comes to inserting this character into the context of the MCU, but it's just really well shot. There's a one shot going around the set that is spectacular. Her energy is just very endearing, she has a lot of charisma, and she is just naive enough for you to feel compassion for her and be on her side without it being too much. And when it comes to how this show is inserted in the MCU as a whole, it's very street level. This, again, is very grounded, very real. It's just a guy wants to make it home for Christmas, and that's it. But it genuinely reminds me of the Netflix shows without being as gritty, as graphic, as dark, but it has an incredible sense of humor that comes straight out from the comics, which I'll get to in a bit. But the humor really works due to Clint's dry wit, as he's just tired of dealing with all this shit, and Kate's naive excitement about all of this. And as funny as the show is, and it is really funny not only from the tracksuit mafia, but genuinely the connection and chemistry between Kate and Clint is just, sparks are flying off the screen. But this is a show that actually carries a lot of trauma from its lead character, as I've spoken, and the family dynamics that we care so much already about really influence what this character is going through in this show, which I'm really compelled by so far. I'm a fan of Matt Fraction's run and David Aja's run from the comics. This show is just plucked straight out of it. The look, the color grading, the feel of it all, the character interactions, the character beats so far, this is straight up as comic booky as it gets. It's off to a great start. Even the tracksuit mafia is here, and they're just as funny as I remember. And of course, the real star of the show, Lucky the pizza dog. He's awesome, he's going to steal your hearts as he's already stolen mine. When it comes to issues so far, I would say that I'm not a big fan of the framing of Kate's story, how she's inserted into this, what's driving her at first, at least so far, and the action has not impressed me yet. I think we've seen clips and moments in the trailers where the action looks great. So far, it's not that special, but I've only seen 2 episodes. Before my final thoughts and conclusion, I want to let you know that we will have spoiler reviews for these episodes on Wednesday, and we will have spoiler coverage for every single episode of Hawkeye going forward. So make sure you click that subscribe button and you ring that bell so you're aware whenever we have more conversations about Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a grounded adventure that carries the emotional weight from its protagonist's past adventures while adding a new spice in the form of the energetic and welcoming charm of Kate Bishop. This is one dynamic duo that I cannot wait to see more of their incredible chemistry on screen. And so those are my thoughts on Hawkeye episodes 1 and 2 so far. It's a really good start for this new show of the MCU. As far as first episodes are concerned, I think this is very up there. It only really stays behind the first episode of Loki for me. But I want to know your thoughts, whether you're excited for Hawkeye, whether it's already come out and you've seen it by the point you see this video, anything and everything, drop it in the comments below. I want to know what you thought. So if you like movies and TV, this is the place to be. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you enjoy what you saw here, and you'll always be aware of whenever there's more conversation about movies, TV, and specifically Hawkeye, and I hope to see you there in all the coverage I'll have for every episode. And so until the next one, love each other and love the movies.